The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Welcome to Journey into the Light, Chapter 2, a program which strives to bring about awareness and awakening, the practice of living in the reconnected to loved ones and your future. Now, here's your host, Psychic Little T, and Nashville's astrologer, Jennifer Green.
Hey everyone, and welcome to tonight's awesome show, Journey into the Light, Chapter 2. I'm Jennifer Green, and with me is my amazing co-host, Psychic Little T, and our producer that we can't be here without him, Rock with the Shock. He is here, and we are having an amazing show. Our topic for today's show is sex trafficking. As always, we are always giving free readings here on the show, and you could go ahead and call in and have your reading, have an amazing session with us here on the show. The number to call in is 484-326-2804. That's 404-326-2804. And you guys listening can call in on the show and have a reading. We've figured out all the technical things, so it's looking really good today. So we have a great show. Hi, Psychic Little T. How are you?
Hey, I gotta cut in. For all the listeners, Jen kind of made a boo-boo. The number to call in is 484-326-2804. So, I'm great. I just had to let the listeners know that you gave out the wrong number.
I'm so sorry.
And we will not be talking about sex trafficking. We will be talking about teen pregnancies.
Teen pregnancies and sex trafficking, I feel, is kind of connected together because it's a sense of behavior. I'm trying to separate it in my mind. And it's time we're here to bring you guys awareness. So we do have a little disclosure that we want to say. This is for a mature audience. So viewer discretion is advised. It's not really good for the younger viewers, but you guys had, I don't know, like the age I should appropriately say. Tammy?
Yes.
Well, by the way, before you do that, anybody that does call that first number that Jen gave out, if Donald Trump answers, just say, sorry, wrong number, and hang up.
Yep.
Well, I mean, our target audience for the teen pregnancy is 13 and above, so, but, again, parents, use your own discretion, you know what your children can handle, or this might be a teachable moment, the information that we give out, that you can teach the preteens, you know, but I do want to stress, abstinence is the best. So, well, now that that's said, where should we begin?
Well, Tammy, I think we should go ahead and begin giving our audience some of our information so they could have it now in the beginning of the show, as we say it again. So I want to share everyone your phone number as well as mine. And here on the show, me and Tammy, we offered $10 for 10 minutes. That special still goes on. Yes, and you can call Psychic Little T. Her website is psychiclittlet.com. Her phone number is 609-320-7912. That's 609-320-7912. And if you guys are interested in having a reading with myself, you guys can reach me at 615-944-9707. That's 615-944-9707.
However, if you call that the 484-326-2804 number tonight, there is no charge. You won't be charged anything for a reading if you call on the show.
So call on in. But one thing that I want to express to our listeners, I wanted to get this information out there because it just seems the last couple of weeks on the news, there's just been a couple of stories about teens that have murdered their newborns, and it just hit home. I know recently there was a 15-year-old that was accused of killing her newborn, 15 years old. And I was like, yeah, she just ruined the rest of her life. Now she's going to sit in prison that we have to pay for, because there's outlets out there for people. If they feel they can't handle the child, they can drop it off at a firehouse, a police station. No questions asked. There are many organizations out there to help. And I think a lot of it comes down to, I don't want my parents to know. And I hear that a lot. Well, I read that a lot. Is that they're afraid of the parents. It could be a religious background. It could be how the child was raised. So, again,
Culture,
I read...
custom.
Yeah, culture. That's what I was looking for. I read one story. The girl was 19 years old, had her daughter, minutes later threw her out an 8-story window because she thought her mom coming to her room.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's totally insane. And as a parent myself, I just have a hard time wrapping my mind around it. And, you know, Shock had brought a good point up before we got on the radio that it could be narcissistic. Did I say that right?
You said it right.
So,
yeah, we've developed an entire society of privileged, self-centered, narcissistic people who feel that the only thing that matters in life is me. And that's going to be the downfall of our society. Especially when it translates to the death of an infant child. It is distress. It is stressful. It can screw up your whole life, but you were part of that decision. And if you fear that your parents are not going to handle it well, there are agencies and groups of people out there who will help you through it.
And know that you're not alone. Someone will help you. And, you know, just like T said earlier, there may be very well someone here, someone listening right now, that a young teen that's going through pregnancy, or maybe right now you actually think you are pregnant. So I want to remind the girls there is something out there for you, and you don't even need to tell your parents about necessarily. You can go to the pharmacist, to the pharmacy, to the drugstore, and they'll give you a plan B. That's an emergency birth control after you have already been engaged with a partner and you think that you are. And you have 72 hours. So hopefully if that's out there, someone's listening, needs something. Actually, it's kind of strange. It always seems to fall in sync. I had a client of mine earlier called me, and she actually just had a baby, not even 6 weeks ago. And she called me up. She's like, Jen, I'm not even 6 weeks, and I end up being with my baby's father, and I'm scared that she may be pregnant. So I said, you have to go get a plan B. It's less than 72 hours. She's like, that's exactly what my doctor told me. So there is other options, and girls, you are strong. All you have to do is just ask someone to help you, and you will get help. And your parents, no matter how much they're upset with you or disappointed at that single moment, they'll get over it because they love you. And if you are thinking about being sexually active, I want to remind you girls out there, and I'm a very old soul with a very old-fashioned opinion, but respect yourself. Respect yourself and be very, very, very picky on who you give yourself to, because you may have an experience in your life and it's this one-time experience, and then you come home pregnant or you caught a sexual disease that you may not be gotten rid of it. And that is serious and that is real. And guys, if you need to either be responsible or don't even do it, because the girls are probably going to blame you for it if something happens. Be responsible. Talk to someone. We have some numbers we're going to give you out a little later on in the show. Tammy, what do you out of the other stuff that you've seen on with your research, is there like a certain city, a certain country that's more popular for this to be going on?
Well, according to the study that I found, and a lot of it is not updated, this study was done in 1998. So, it said out of 1,000 women in 1998 of teen pregnancies in the United States, 52.1, we were ranked the highest for teen pregnancies. The UK was 30.8. New Zealand, 29.8. Hungary, 26.5. Ireland, 24.7. Portugal, 21.2. Canada, 20.2. Poland, 18.7. Ireland, 18.7. I was just like, wow. We're almost double than other countries. Of course, I know this has probably changed since it's a few years old.
So one of the other things I want to add to that is that we earlier when we was backstage before we got here on the show with you guys, we was going over some of this, and if you're that young, you guys listen, hear it out, and this is not to scare you, but this is to give you some reality that this is how real it is. Some of your bodies have yet to develop in the ways they are supposed to in order for your body to carry a child. And there's a lot of pregnancies that are not even being healthy, unhealthy pregnancies, and there's a ridiculous amount of unhealthy abortions too. So it's not just unsafe for you, but it's also unsafe for the future of a child. And Tammy, listening to all this, in my custom, for my heritage is ancient Greek, so they still follow old ways. Our customs was, if you go on a date with a guy, you marry him. You married him. That's just how it was.
Right.
And if the rate of divorce and being cheated on is extremely, extremely much more higher than normal because it's so easy to make contact with new people. So what I'm getting to is have self-respect before you give yourself to someone. That is something very special and romantic. And if you save yourself till you find your partner, your marriage, your relationship is going to be so much more meaningful because your spirit, the both of you grow with each other. So I do have to say, I support to keep yourself and save yourself till you're married and give yourself completely to your partner. And if that doesn't happen, if you're around the group of people that's doing these type of things, that's what you will do. So be careful. It could happen to you. One day you're fine. Next day, before you know it, you're pregnant with a sexual disease. Your boyfriend is not even your boyfriend anymore. So be careful. And you could always reach out to us here on the radio, and we would all be more than happy to be a lending ear and point you in the right direction. So if you are needing some help, go ahead and call. Well, we're here to help.
Well, let me share this story because, I'm the one full of stories. When I was in high school, I started talking to this girl. I couldn't even say that we were friends. It was more, hey, how you doing type thing. And then one day I noticed she had this big belly. I was like, wow, you're about to have a baby. She's like, yeah. And then she started telling me the story how she slept with this guy one time, got pregnant, went to the doctors to find out that she had 3 STDs.
Oh my gosh.
So, the guys need to take just as much as responsibility as the girls do. If you're going to do it smart, and this is coming from a parent's heart. I tell the girls that I work with all the time, there's one young lady I work with. She's 20 years old. She's still a virgin. She's in a long-distance relationship. And she told the guy, I'm waiting. If you don't like it, move on.
Mm-hmm. Good for
her. He said he'll wait as long as it has to be. And she actually went out to visit him, and she said that they slept in the same bed, and I take her word for it. I'm like, that's your choice.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's other ones that aren't so. And I just wish I could share some of their stories, but I'm just like, okay. I met one young lady, and like the next day, she's like, I think I'm pregnant. I was like, okay, why did you feel the need to tell me that?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, because I know you won't judge me. I was like, okay. Did you take a pregnancy test? No. Okay, so what's going to be the end result? She ended up taking a pregnancy test and not, finding out it was negative. Thank goodness.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you need to go to the doctors and get that taken care of, whether it be birth control or you guys decide to use other contraceptives.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what happened to the girl. She shortly left after that.
Yes, and just as a reminder, if you are sexually active, there is many ways for you to protect yourself with birth control. They have a variety of things now, and most of them you can get most of them at a drugstore even.
Over the counter, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you are, choose for yourself to be safe. Mm-hmm.
So do you have any good stories like that? Because I wanted to share one. When I was in my early 20s, I, just so everybody knows, I was a virgin until 21. Then got to 21 and alcohol had a huge influence in my life. And that stopped. So, I met this gentleman. Things happen. Went to the doctors for my annual checkup, and the nurse calls and says, you have an STD. I went, huh? And of course, they called me in a prescription. It was ones we're going to read off later. I believe it's pronounced trichomonias. I'm not even sure how to pronounce it. And they called in, it was one shot pill. But the symptoms that I had was like a yeast infection. And that's really what I thought it was until they told me differently. I called the gentleman right away and was like, look. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And just gave me this line of baloney. I saw him the next time and he asked me when we were going to get together again. And I said, when have you been to the doctors? He said, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, that's your answer. Mm-hmm. And I've never seen the guy since. So it does, I'm not proud of it. But if it helps one person, things happen.
It's called trichomoniasis, by the way.
Yeah, trichomoniasis. I call it trichomonias. Well, okay.
Well, let's put things into perspective. The most recent number coming out of the United States is 5.7 pregnancies per 1,000 teenagers between the ages of 15 and 19. That's, that's, you take the entire population of the United States in 2017 of 325.7 million. That means that every year there's 18,564,900 illegitimate babies being born.
Yeah, that's still very, very high.
That's a lot of babies.
Yeah.
And know that if you're listening to this and you are pregnant and you don't have the resources to have your baby, that you very well may be the miracle and angel of a blessing for a family that has been wanting a baby. And there's programs that will even help you through the pregnancy and set up and have it to adopt and let your baby have a good family. And you would be completely free from it without any attachment. And you could live your life. And if it's not something you're ready for, it's not something you want. So the one thing I want to remind everyone is never be afraid to ask for help. Because we are human beings and we all need help sometimes. Whether it's something big or small. It doesn't make you smarter or unintelligent if you don't. You're unintelligent if you don't ask. But if you're in a bind, I promise someone will listen. So ask. And here we are. We're here to listen for you. You guys, you can call in on the show on a number that Tammy is about to give us.
And because we don't want you calling Trump.
Okay. The number to call in to get a free reading, or if you need to talk and we're here to listen for you, it's 484-326-2804. But one thing I wanted to say about adoption, if you're thinking about going that route, there's two different types of adoption. One is what they call a closed adoption, to where you have no contact with the family. The baby grows up. You don't know how the baby's doing, and then 18 years later, you have to find the baby on Facebook. Or there's another one that I did, was called open adoption, where you still have communication with the family once a month, or you set it up with the family of the communication, what you feel comfortable with, what they feel comfortable with. They send you pictures, or again, it's all in the agreement that you have with the family. Everybody's different. That was the choice that I chose because I wanted to know how my child was doing. So, in fact, I gave him up. He'll be 18 next month on the 18th.
Wow.
Yes. And just so everybody knows, we do not have a close relationship. He calls me mom, but that's about the extent of it. I ask him how he's doing. He tells me how he's doing when I have the opportunity to talk to him. He has recently got himself into a little bit of trouble and had his cell phone taken. So, again, it's the parents' discretion what they choose to do.
Mm-hmm. And know that you are, to someone that wants to adopt, you are the prayer, the miracle that they've been asking for to help to bless someone with a child. So if you're pregnant, it's not what you want or desire. Don't go, and I'm going to say it, don't go do something stupid and go behind a garbage can and have a kid. Or go on the 18th floor of a building and see and
throw it off the window, it out the window.
Because that's just wrong in every way. And karma is real for yourself. What we give is what we receive. And it's not what you want in all means. And you don't want to, if you don't want to do the adoption thing, and you don't want to tell your parents, and you don't want to drop it off to the fire station, ask someone. Go to a drugstore, go to Walgreens, Walmart. There is a pharmacy. Someone will listen. So that's what we're here to bring you guys awareness. Don't go and act on emotions, because your emotions are temporary. And plus, well, if you are pregnant, your emotions are all over the place. Your emotions are not right. And you will make decisions off an emotion, and you'll change your mind later.
Or wish you had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so true.
So don't do something you're going to regret. And being pregnant will cause your emotions to go haywire. You are a bit crazy for a moment. Your emotions are not intact. That's why you need to ask and speak to someone. So don't hold it in. There's no need for you to suffer by yourself. All you have to do is ask. And if you guys can take our number, and we'll all be private and confidential with you, and to help you and give you some advice, you can contact myself. You can contact Psychic Little T here at the show. You have 3 people here. We're all ready to help you. So if you're here, you're listening, know that you're not alone. Maybe you have a friend that's pregnant right now, and they're keeping it from their mom and dad, or they're trying to hide it. I promise, when you ask, you'll get help. You just have to ask. And if you've got to know those people are idiots, get away from them and go to someone that's going to tell you a yes, because no one should tell you no. If they told you no, they're not going to help you. Get away from them. And guys, yeah.
I'm sorry. Somebody's definitely listening out there. You hit on a couple points, and I just got chills going down my spine. Like I said, I'm going to give the number out one more time. If you need to call here, we're here to help you 100%. Yeah. The number is 484-326-2804. I don't care if you,
you don't have to say your real name.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could be,
Bobby Joe.
Bobby Joe.
I don't know why that just popped in my head.
Bobby Joe. Well,
we're not here to judge anybody. Look, I've been through a lot of experiences that I like to share on the radio, and I always say if it helps one person, I've done my job.
If you think about it, when you became pregnant or you caused the pregnancy, think about the emotions you were going through at that particular moment, that passion. You had little control over what was happening next. Well, those same emotions and chemicals and hormones are playing havoc with those same inabilities to think rationally when you're pregnant. So get some help. Talk to somebody. If you're a parent of a child who's in that situation, you need to call, and we can provide you with phone numbers of agencies that will help out. That's the best way to go. You don't want to take away a life and a future and a career and the joy of life and children and grandchildren from this newly created life that was, done in error of the moment. It's not worth it to them.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Because I know at the age of 25, when I found out I was pregnant, the emotional roller coaster I was on, I could only imagine what it is for a 13-year-old that's already going through the hormonal imbalance.
Poor baby.
And even now, to deal with the hormones.
That's exactly what it is. Children having children.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. And, and if you've already had a baby and it's been a few months, weeks, days, and you can't do it, ask for help. And this is one thing I can say, and I can talk about from my own experience personally. After I had my son, which is my second child, I had postpartum. And that is some extremely scary stuff, because, and this is not nice what I'm going to say, but my son came home. He was a colic baby, never stopped crying, and I was so massively depressed and sad. The only thing I did was hide underneath the blanket and cover my head, and I didn't care if he ate, slept, anything. I called a grandma over, and it was it was bad. I hired a sitter to be. I know I needed help, and I know I couldn't do it alone. So I called in for reinforces. So I said, look, I need help with my baby. Something is just not right with me. And then I called and I got help. I couldn't do it by myself. I knew I was not emotionally right. Something was really wrong with me. And unfortunately, that crap lasts 6 weeks, sometimes a little longer. With my first child, I guess I had it during the pregnancy, so I thought I was crazy anyways. But it was bad. So if you're a few months out in it, and girls, instead of you doing something stupid that you will regret for the rest of your life, make a family happy. And this may be what you hear too. A lot of families will pay you for your child because a baby is so valuable, and bring a lonely home a bundle of joy and love.
Jen, rephrase that. They will pay for the medical bills, your food expenses,
Mm-hmm.
so they know that the baby's eating. They help with the expenses.
Yes.
Some couples may offer you, but it's not guaranteed. But the guaranteed is to pay them hospital bills. And again, there are some, I'm going to kind of play devil's advocate here, is if you go through this pregnancy, you have the baby, and you want to keep the baby, that's okay too. Don't let anybody tell you differently. You know, when I gave my son up for, I went through a different depression. I went through a morning depression.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a whole new subject on that. And I was like, should I take the baby back? And I said, no, because I already promised this couple, you know, their pride and joy. And to be honest, here it is 18 years later. I'm glad that I stuck with my guns, because I don't know where my life would be if I would have had 2 kids as a single parent. And kudos to all the parents out there that have 2 and 3 kids that are single parents.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't for me. I could not emotionally handle it or physically handle it. I knew what I could handle. And even the son that I do have, he's a handful in himself. And, you know, sometimes I talk about him on the radio, so for all the regular listeners, they know just some of the things that I deal with. And that's not including, you know, I'm a full-time worker, I do the show, and, you know, there's still research that goes into the show, so that's another part-time job there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have my fur baby that takes up what I have left. Usually she gets me when I'm sleeping and then decides that I need to wake up. But, you know, again, don't let anybody force you. If you decide 1 minute it's hormones, it's going to happen. It's okay to be scared.
Mm-hmm.
We're all scared.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're not the first one that ever went through it.
Oh, no. And I'm not the last.
Right. Thousands and thousands of years women have been going through this. Just the numbers have exponentially grown.
Yes.
So, you know, hey, don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Starting August 9th, it's Double the Cauldron, Double the Fun, as ParaX brings you back-to-back hours of Stirring the Cauldron with Marla Brooks. First, at 8 p.m., ParaX digs into the vault to bring you an encore edition of Stirring the Cauldron. That's 10 years worth of amazing guests, interesting subjects, and all the fun from your favorite show. Then at 9 p.m., ParaX presents an all-new hour of Stirring the Cauldron as Marla explores the paranormal realm with brand new topics and all-new guests. It's Double the Cauldron, Double the Fun as ParaX presents back-to-back hours of Stirring the Cauldron with Marla Brooks. And it all begins 8 p.m. Thursday, August 9th, right here on the ParaX Radio Network.
Red, where are you going?
I'm going back to the paranormal view, back where I belong.
Please, take me with you.
No, I'm through with everything here. I want to see if there's something left in life I haven't explored. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Red, don't run to them. They talk about ghosts and hauntings, UFOs, and all kind of supernatural scary stuff.
You'll never understand, will you, Scarlet?
No!
Well, that's your misfortune.
Rat! 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 Rat, if you go, where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear... Line!
Oh, you gotta
Come
be
on.
kidding.
That's the Paranormal View with your host, Henry Foister, Jeffrey Gould, and Barbara Duncan. Every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on the Para X Radio Network.
From Haunted Road Media comes an exciting new novel by author Marla Brooks. Soul Connection, a deadly obsession. Two lost souls, ripped apart by murder in another century, find each other again in the present, only to discover that the murderer has followed them through time. History repeat itself. Find out in this captivating new novel by Marla Brooks. Soul Connection, a deadly obsession. Available now on Amazon.com and at BarnesandNoble.com.
Oh, hello, Watson. Oh, hello, Holmes. I brought in your mail. Yes, precisely as I knew you would. However, this is the one I've been expecting. It's from Rock with the Shock Radio. Oh, yes, that's the radio program that plays all the greatest hits of the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and 80s and discusses all sorts of what's and not. Precisely, Watson. Great music with insightful and informative analyses of the artist and the times from whence they came. Not to mention Motown. Motown? I said not to mention Motown. Oh, pardon me. Well, Holmes, where on earth did you learn all this? In school, Watson. What kind of school teaches that, old man? Elementary, my dear Watson. Elementary. Playing the greatest hits of the baby boomer generation 24/7 with live broadcast every Friday and Saturday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss Rock with the Shock at www.rockwiththeshock.com. And welcome back to Journey into the Light, Chapter 2 with your host, Psychic Little T, and Nashville's astrologer, Jennifer Green.
Oh, Jen, let me change the subject real quick. I got a copy of Marla's new book. I can't wait to read it.
Oh, how exciting. The commercial sounds so awesome. I said, I got to go check it out.
I might have to forward you and then we'll have to have Marla on and dig in her brain. Ha, ha, ha.
Brain!
Yeah, it sounds really good. Full of suspense and that curiosity already. Like, my curiosity is piqued because I do love her tarot cards. And if you guys don't know, you're listening, Marla has made some amazing oracle deck by Marla Brooks. And it is one of the most, and I collect tarot cards as a lifestyle. And these are definitely they became my favorite as soon as I looked at them.
I collect old maid cards.
Ha ha.
I'm kidding. Don't send me any.
If you guys would like to send Rox some old maid cards.
You know, I used to have nightmares when I was a kid, and the character, I don't know if there's anybody out there old enough to remember any of the particular characters on some of the old maid cards from the 1950s, but there was a character on there that was holding a tire. He was replacing the tire on an old car, an old jalopy, and the character's name was Greasy Grimes. And I had nightmares that Greasy Grimes was chasing me all over my house. It terrified me.
Yeah, it was called your dad.
No, my dad would, in my dream, my father would save me. He would come, and he would beat up Greasy Grimes. But he'd come out of the closets, he'd come run up the basement steps, just chasing me all over. I know, I had problems. That's why I am like the way I am today.
Okay, so...
That brought a dead stop, didn't it?
I can't stop laughing.
You know, I couldn't help when I was hearing the story, I was thinking of the shark song, the real catchy shark song.
No. Let's not get that because it will never leave my head.
No, that wasn't a scary song, but
No.
remember last week when the storm was coming across the country? Somebody posted on Facebook. Snowstorm shark, do 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 do. Snowstorm shark. Buy some bread, do 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 do. Don't forget milk, do 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 do.
It's a very catchy little.
I love that. I love that song because Jacqueline loves it. My great granddaughter Jacqueline, she loves that song, and her and Pop Pop sing it together, and she dances all over the living room floor, just waving her arms in the air, singing, Grandpa Shark, and we have a ball with it. How can you not? How can you not love that?
Exactly.
You're gonna have some competition in the next couple months, huh?
Yeah, well, that's but it'll take a while for. That'll be a great grandson. Now, Jacqueline stayed here the other night, and she sleeps in our bed, my mom and Pop Pop's bed. And I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning, and my pillow that I have my arm around, because I have like a body pillow that I wrap. I sleep on my left side, and I put my arm over the pillow because it elevates my arm. I sleep better that way. Well, somebody at 3 o'clock in the morning slid the pillow out and replaced it with Mickey Mouse.
Oh, how cute.
The stories.
So you girls are listening to the stories here and how much joy a baby can bring in your life, and the love you could have for it is more than what you can comprehend. And I remember when I had my baby, my daughter Daniela, and when I looked at her, and I raised kids since I was 12, I helped raise my brothers and sisters and my cousins, and so when I seen this little ugly little thing, because she wasn't pretty, she was ugly, and I looked at her, her head was too big, and she was like a little of an off color, and I looked at her and I could not believe that she's mine. Like, she is mine.
Yeah, well, babies aren't very pretty.
No,
I know there are mothers out there that would disagree, but I was in the hospital and watched my daughter being born. I was there for the entire process, and
Me too.
after it was over, I looked at my wife and I said, "Congratulations, dear. You have just given birth to a lizard." She was ugly.
Yeah, so was my daughter. My daughter was very ugly.
I tried to give him back to the doctor.
She has grown to be beautiful. And she doesn't look anything like she did when she was born. But after it honestly took me probably 3 months to register that this is my baby, not that she's mine. She's not my little, it's not my little sister. It's not my little cousin. It's not my best friend's baby. It's
You
my
can't give her
baby.
back.
Yeah, this is your baby. It's my baby. And it's a process of learning how to become a parent. But know that as long as you have love as long as you have love inside your heart, don't forget, girls, ask for help. Babies are not easy. You have to be really, really good. And like, you become like a superhero. You got like, this is in your pocket over here, and you got like this bottle over here and a blanket over here. You just do it. It just happens. Your mother instincts does not kick on until you have a baby.
Yeah, mother instincts always amazed me. Our baby would be up on the second floor crying, and I would look at my wife and I'd say, "What's the matter? Is he hungry? No. Need a diaper change? No. You need to be burped? No. Then what's wrong? His left foot's caught in the crib." How do they know this stuff?
It's the eyes behind the head. So when you have a child, you become a mom, you get a set of eyes behind your head. They usually grow in about 3 years, sometimes sooner.
And men remain dumb. We know one thing. Shut up! But that's okay.
It always amazed me too when my senses would kick in. I call them my spidey senses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "What's wrong?" "Nothing." "You're lying."
Yep.
"Why do you always think I'm lying?" "Because I know you're lying."
That's what I do to my kids all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you do this to yours, but he would come home from school. I'd be like, your school called me today. But Mom, I swear, I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just start laughing. I was like, by the way, they never called.
Yep.
He's like, man, I just ratted myself out.
There you guys go. That's a good one. So guys, make a note of that. So when you need to see how's your kid doing in school, see how they respond.
Well, there was a TV show about a detective played by Dennis Weaver. It was called McCloud. And if you remember, at the end of each show, he would go up to the suspect and he would say, "I know everything," and they would immediately begin confessing because he said, "I know everything." Well, yeah, it works with kids too.
Yep.
I know what you did.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of like I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Yep.
Oh, wait, that was a movie.
Yep. Where do you think we learned it from?
Okay, so we only have about 15 minutes left. Well, 14 minutes left. So I want to kind of go over some STDs. If you want to send the young ones away, now would be a good time. I don't know how else to say it.
No, it was appropriate and it's effective. So young ones, move on.
Go find your battleship. No, wait. My age is coming out. So I found this on lava.com, and the first thing that came up was chlamydia. It says it's most common in the UK. Well, my ancestors are from the UK. And it says it's curable, again, by an antibiotic. 1 single dose of antibiotic. They give you, if you want to go on the website or Google it, they give you things to look for. It's a family show. I'm not going into all the details.
If something's not looking right, just go to the doctor for sure. If something is not looking right,
or feeling right,
or smelling right, or something's wrong, so go check it out.
Well, chlamydia can be treated with antibiotics, but if you're HIV negative, they HIV positive or HIV negative can both receive the same treatments. Just antibiotic therapy. And for both partners, by the way. Because if you got it, they got it.
Exactly. I like when you see him on Maury Povich. You got it, but I don't have it. How did I get it? But then it comes out that they were sleeping with like 10 other people. Wonder where you got it from.
Yeah.
Gonorrhea is another one. It says it infects about 1 in 3 women. And I guess they give you another wonderful pill that you take. But a lot of these, just so the listeners know, a lot of them do not have side effects. You could have them for years and not know that you have them.
But still be able to share them with someone else.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it could, interrupt your reproductive system or, something in your body because you don't know that you have it. So women, men, make sure you go get especially women, go get your checkups. My boss had confided in me that she hasn't been to the doctors in 8 years. I'm like, your insides could be falling out and you wouldn't know. And I'm just saying this because they can detect for cancer, they could detect for anything. You don't know what's going on inside. Well, you do, but you don't really understand what's going on that they could find or something else.
Absolutely. Because the only one who's ever going to take the best care of yourself is you.
Exactly.
It's up to you. So if you are around a lot of people that's making bad decisions, you might want to be around someone that's making good decisions. And I say this a lot. And if you don't have anyone, read a book of someone amazing. And guys, you need to do yourself, do us girls a favor by doing you a favor by going to check yourself, because nobody is going to want that. And then karma is going to get back you, and it's not going to be good.
Exactly.
So I want to say it just like that. So guys, be responsible. Check yourselves. Don't go around, because you may have something. And I think it's with guys, it's more that they don't even know they have anything at all.
And then the next one is genital herpes. A lot of people think because you get the sores on your mouth, it's the same thing. It's not. It says over 80% of people who are infected with genital herpes don't know that they have the virus. And then they pass it on to the next set of people.
Girls, be smart, and when you need to say no, just say no. If something doesn't look right, don't do it. If you feel you're pressured, you don't have to do it. You could say no. If you don't feel you want to sleep with that person, say no. Because, again, I'll say it, the only one that will take the best care of you is you. And when you know that you are not making good decisions, seek out help. And even as us here on the radio, we're all here. You have all three of us here on Parax Radio. We're here. If you need to call and talk, we'll help you. So be strong and say no. And it's okay if you say no. And that goes for guys too. There's some girls just as even more nastier than the guys. You know,
exactly.
Kick them off you. Get that girl and just push her, get her off you. Shut the door, lock it. That's not good. I don't know.
Genital warts. I personally know somebody that had them, that was treated for them. He's a gay man, and, you know, he was doing his thing and contracted it. And he said how embarrassing it was to go to the doctors and have to show the doctors the warts. And because they're in a private area, he had to bend over. And again, he was treated for it and hasn't said much since, but he's one of them friends that you talk to every now and then. But he also contracted the HIV virus. Mm-hmm. And I remember when he told me that, my heart broke into like 4 pieces. Because I knew it was something that he was going to die from. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, here it is 10 years later. He's healthy. He takes this certain medicine. If I remember correctly, he takes about 5 different medicines a day. And they can't detect the virus because it's keeping it hidden.
But just to remind everyone, Tammy, that's for the rest of his life.
Yes, it's for the rest of his life.
What does he have? What does he have?
HIV.
Oh, okay. Because syphilis is also a disease that can hide in many ways. And it killed a lot of people. I mean, Al Capone died of syphilis. I believe Beethoven died of syphilis.
It
drove them mad. They drove them to utter madness. That's what syphilis does.
I was watching a program about ancestries, and I don't remember who the actress was, but one of their relatives, in fact, 2 of their relatives, had syphilis and got addicted to morphine. They started selling morphine, this was like back in the 1800s, and was jailed a few times because then it was illegal, just to stop the pain from the syphilis.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it has many stages, the end of which is madness. There's a lot of people that it's killed over the years. Of course, there was a time, I mean, they can fix it now, but as little as 50 years ago, it was fatal. It was terminal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it says syphilis is fairly easy to treat with antibiotics. It seems like everything nowadays, you get an antibiotic and you're cured.
Yeah. Well,
we're blessed to have so many offered to us.
Exactly.
I mean,
we still need a lot more.
polio can be cured too, but now we got a bunch of stupid people out there who are refusing to inoculate their children, and they're all these diseases, these childhood diseases, are all coming back with a vengeance now. Measles, rubella, mumps, chickenpox.
Yep. History has a tendency to repeat itself in very strange ways.
Yeah, well, stupidity has a way of repeating itself, too.
Yes. So, yeah, you guys are listening. And if this is your first time listening with us here on ParaX Radio, go ahead and like and subscribe and follow and join us every Thursday here, same time, same channel. We're going to be here, and we hope you guys are here, too.
7 to 8 Eastern time. Jen always gets the times mixed up because she's an hour behind us.
I don't know what time it is. What is it?
What time's the show again? Sorry, Jen, I had to.
Why do I need clocks? Because I have two amazing best friends that say, Jen, come on. No,
Jen, where you at? You're late.
Where you at? Yeah.
Okay, so 2 more quick, because I know we're going to be wrapping up soon, is hepatitis B. And the human, I can't even pronounce this word.
Wise one. We need a pronunciation.
Well, I got to know what the word is.
Can we please have a spelling?
IMMUNODEFICIE.
Immunodeficiency.
Yeah, whatever he said.
Immunodeficiency. It's a deficiency or disorder of your immune system.
Yeah, we're talking about the HIV.
Well, yeah, that's one version of it.
And then they have crabs.
Yep. Which are lice.
Yeah.
Bugs. So, girls, that is bugs. Just think about that. Actual real bugs that are alive.
Yes, just like the ones in your head.
Very gross.
These are the bugs that attach themselves to the hair. Let's be more specific.
Specific. Yeah, Pacific is an ocean.
Yeah. One I miss. But, and then the one that you said earlier, the one that feels like a yeast infection. Yeah. And, of course, it's treatable by an antibiotic. It's literally a horse pill.
Yeah, use common sense. If you're burning and itching, chances are something wrong. All right, wrap it up. Give out some phone numbers. We got a minute and a half.
Okay, I am Psychic Little T. You can give me a call at 609-320-7912. Visit my website at psychiclittlet.com. I have $10 for 10 minutes. Go ahead, Jen.
Hey, everyone. Jennifer Green here, Nashville's astrologer. If you are ready to have a reading and to make a breakthrough in your life, you can call me, 615-944-9707. That's 615-944-9707. If you want to look it up later, you can remember my website, epicgen.com. And I'll be more than happy to speak to you, and I will honor the same thing, $10, 10 minutes. I can't wait to speak to you. God bless all of you. Good night.
All right, coming up at 8 o'clock is the encore presentation of Stirring the Cauldron. And then 9 o'clock, the live show of Stirring the Cauldron, right here on the ParaX Radio Network. I am Rock with a Shock. I do an oldie show on www.rockwithashock.com every Friday and Saturday night, 7 to 9 p.m. But there will be no show this Saturday night because I'm going to be at the Southern Mansion in Cape May with Tammy as we do an investigation of the Southern Mansion in Cape May, New Jersey. So I'll be on tomorrow night. Stop over and see me. And until then, we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening. Tune in again next week from 7 till 8 p.m. Eastern for another exciting and unpredictable episode of Journey into the Light
Chapter 2, right here on the Para X Radio Network.